Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum, and today I'm reacting to Ice Cream Man by Raye. This is a special recommendation coming from Rana, so thank you very much for your generous donation. It means the world, and it helps support this channel, so again, thank you very much. And this reaction came with a bit of a caveat. It said that this is going to be a bit heavier, and they apologized for the heaviness of this song. And just based on the title frame alone here, it says the following video deals with adult themes of SV. It contains scenes that most audiences find upsetting. So I'm expecting a heavy one here. And when it comes to Raye, the little bits of music that I've heard from her so far have been extremely soulful, right from the heart. She speaks about issues that affect, at least if not you individually, somebody right next to you. So, I'm expecting this to be a heavy one. Despite that, I'm excited to get into it. I hope you are as well. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button and let's just jump in. Oh, the heartbeat is, her voice is the heartbeat. And do you hear the swelling?
So this producer hit me up on a DM. He told me, hey, I really like what you are doing. He told me, come round to the studio, let's cook it. He told me, come to catch a vibe and make some music. But when I got there, should've heard what he was saying. Trying to touch me, trying to put me, I'm not playing. I should've left that place as soon as I walked in it. How goddamn dare you do that to me, really? Coming like the ice cream man.
Oh, wow.
Till I felt his ice cold hands.
Wow.
And how I paid the price now, damn. Goddamn, no, goddamn. Everything you did, it left me in a ruin. And no, I didn't say a word, I guess that proves it. I'm a woman.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Whoa. There's so much to unpack right there. I didn't understand what the Ice Cream Man had to do with the producer, but now with that lyric about the Ice Cream Man and his ice cold hands, it makes so much sense to me. Because an ice cream man, the kind of person that they are, they try to lure, not necessarily up front, right? The good ice cream man, they just, come around, the children want ice cream, then they exchange ice cream for money, and it's a good time, and children are always very happy and excited to see the ice cream man. Even as adults, you're excited to see the ice cream man, but what is the value proposition? They offer up something tasty, something enticing, then they can, in a sense, lure you in with that offer. So the producer's luring her in with an offer to cook with her, to make an amazing track, and giving her all of these nice things. But then right away you can see his intention is not that at all, and he completely switches, because once he's got you in the physical presence, then it becomes much harder to say no. And then in the line here, she says, everything you did, it left me to ruin. Listen here.
No, I didn't say a word, I guess that proves it. I'm a woman.
This line. And no, I didn't say a word, I guess that proves it. And then I'm a woman, that is mind-blowing in and of itself, because there is this popular conversational piece that comes around this topic of SA and SV as it relates to people and victims not really being able to speak up in the moment or after the fact for a long time. And when she says, I'm a woman, it's almost like it's like reaffirming that cultural phenomenon. And it's truly tragic, because you should be able to exist in a world where you can freely express these things that happen to you without fear of being chastised or, made fun of or denied or ignored or, not believed. All of these things. And despite the terrible thing happening, you get hit with even more negative things after the fact. And it's almost better to keep quiet. And that's the plight of women in the modern era. At least one of the plights.
Everything you did, it left me in a ruin. And no, I didn't say a word, I guess that proves it. I'm a woman.
That's so powerful.
Oh, yes.
So sad.
Cause I'm a woman. I'm a very fucking brave, strong woman. And I'll be damned if I let a man ruin how I walk, how I talk, how I do it. Man, I've been broken for a moment, I've been doing it. It's even harder to be brave alone.
Yeah. absolutely.
Was a girl, now I'm grown, I'm a woman.
Wow.
A very fucking strong woman.
Wow.
And
There's so much happening here, but when she's repeating like I'm a brave woman, I'm a brave fucking strong woman, these are all these like reaffirmations of things that you need to be saying to yourself to give yourself that strength, because when you are alone, it becomes especially challenging to reconcile the evil of humanity with the innocence that you once had, and you have to just give yourself the strength to be able to push through and to overcome and try to heal through these things. I also really like this line here of was a girl, now I'm grown, I'm a woman. And it really, again, harkens back to the idea of you have childhood innocence. You were a young girl. You were somebody who looked at the world with doe eyes. And all of a sudden, through this terrible, tragic event, you are now grown. You are ripped. That innocence is like ripped away from you. And now you are a woman. And now through becoming a woman in this like traumatic path, you've had to like forge yourself in the fire to become brave and strong. Which, you know, if any person goes through some terrible event and trauma, you definitely try to come out the other side a little bit better off. At least you come out of the other side with some strength if you can, and it's hard all the same. So when you actually are able to do that, emotionally recover to whatever extent is possible, that gives you a lot of strength, and you should champion your own, you know, you should have a lot of self-esteem from that. You should champion yourself and gas yourself up for that.
Man, I've been broken for a moment, I've been through it all. It's even harder to be brave alone. Was a girl, now I'm grown, I'm a woman. A very fucking strong woman. And I was 7, was 21, was 17, and was 11. It took a while to understand what my consent.
I don't like the hands. I know, but I don't like seeing that.
21 was 17 and was 11. It took a while to understand what my consent means. If I was ruthless, they'd be in the penitentiary.
These ages, right? I started at 7 here.
Was 21, was 17 and was 11.
And it's so sad because it happens at all of these ages. There's such evil people out there. They take advantage and they groom and they predate. They basically lifelong gaslight you into believing that what they're doing is fine and reasonable, but all the while your body is giving you these negative feedback signals saying, look, you're in danger, get out of the situation. You're like tensed up with anxiety, but there's like multiple responses like fight, flight, and freeze. Oftentimes in these situations, freeze is the best thing potentially to do because you're in a protective mode, because what could happen if you fight or flight could be a worse outcome. And, you know, I don't know much about the specific psychology as it relates to that. That's more of like my own postulation, but it just gets worse and worse over time. It's terrible.
And I was 7, was 21, was 17, and was 11. It took a while to understand what my consent means.
You have to learn this.
If I was ruthless, they'd be in the penitentiary. But all the stress of being honest wouldn't help me. I pushed it down, but it was living in me rent-free.
Right.
And then I fell into some things that weren't healthy. A place where no one heard me, asking them to help me.
Wow. It's sad because there's like so many, you know, coping mechanisms that you fall under because you can't reconcile the pain of what was caused to you, and it feels like coming out about all of it will cause more stress or lead to more danger. And there's so much unknown that you doubt everything because you believed that people were good, and now you have an implicit, let's say, detachment or belief that people can be good, and now talking about this to anybody is a risk. And that risk and that belief of the risk is reaffirmed when people online and people in their life start to deny or start to push back and start to, you know, just neglect the existence of these emotions, of these situations. And it like reaffirms that belief, and people get stuck and they freeze forever.
It was living in me rent-free. And then I fell into some things that weren't healthy. A place where no one heard me, asking them to help me.
Yep.
The ice cream man, till I felt his ice cold hands, and how I paid the price now. Damn, goddamn, wow. Everything you did, it left me to ruin.
And like paying the price right now. So presumably with the ice cream man, the offering, the value exchange would have been, I'm paying money to get ice cream and nothing else happens, and it was just like, one transaction, 5 minutes, you're done. But this case, it's not that, and the negative emotions that come as a result linger forever, and now you're continually paying the price from the moment you met this person and agreed to deal with them in any capacity to basically the rest of your life. These things just don't go away, no matter how much you work on it.
God damn, everything you did, it left me to ruin. And no, I didn't say a word, I guess that proves it. I'm a woman.
This is so powerful.
Cause I'm a woman. I'm a very fucking brave, strong woman. And I'll be damned if I let a man ruin how I walk, how I talk, how I do it. And I've been broken for a moment, I've been doing it. It's even harder to be brave alone.
Just to claim back her power.
I'm grown, I'm a woman. Very fucking strong woman. I wish I could say how I feel, how I felt, and explain why I'm silently blaming myself. Cause I put on these faces pretending I'm fine. Then I go to the bathroom and I press rewind in my head. Always going round and round in my...
The self-blame too, that's not even a piece that I just thought about, so I'm glad that she brought it up. But that is such a critical part in a lot of why these things don't get heard about until maybe way later, or potentially never, because the victim ends up blaming themselves, whether it's directly because of what the victimizer has fed them to say and believe and feel, or if it's indirect effects from society as a whole. But you kind of blame yourself for the things that happen to you because, I shouldn't have been in this situation, I shouldn't have done this. But blaming the victim, and I hate this rhetoric, I don't understand how you can even blame the person for the actions of somebody else. There's risky scenarios, and if you can remove yourself from those risky scenarios, that's preferable. But at the end of the day, there are people who, despite how your risk tolerance will hurt you, will put evil in your life whether you want to or not. And blaming the victim for the evil that others put onto you is an insane, deplorable take. It's how, what kind of world have we got to where it's a hot take to say these people are bad people who do this, the victimizers.
And I press rewind in my head, always going round and round in my head. Your fingerprints stuck a stain on my skin. You made me frame myself for your sin. You pathetic dead excuse of a man.
Wow. One in four.
I'll be damned if I let a man ruin. I'm a very fucking brave, strong woman. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so true. Oh, why did this block it? I need to see what this says. If I can encourage anything, let's not bury it deep down inside. Why did the YouTube things block these? Wow, what a powerful message. The evil has more power over us in the dark than it does the light. It's true, because the evil, it's almost like a wound. It continues to fester if it goes untreated. And if you don't shed light on the issue, despite having valid reasons for not wanting to because of the pain you'd feel from opening up that wound and confronting it directly, letting it fester can have indirect consequences on everything that you think and feel going forward. And this is obviously specific to SV and SA, but I think broadly speaking, you can apply this to many traumatic moments in life where not speaking about it or not thinking about it or reconciling or dealing with it can cause the issue to take more power over you over time. But the light that you can shine upon these things, despite how painful it is, maybe in my feeling would be less painful overall than letting it fester. And people go down very dark paths alone, and It's truly, truly tragic. I'm really glad that she made this song. I'm not glad anything happened to her, but I'm really glad she made this song to highlight all of these beliefs societally, highlight all these feelings from victims. And this 1 in 4 statistic is crazy to me. I'm very curious where it comes from, like how they define SA here. I know a lot of times when I hear like conversations about SA and like violence and rape and these things, the statistics get a little bit muddled. I think people use very different numbers. I'm just curious how they contend with that and how they would learn about these situations after the fact. Maybe it's through like self-reported surveys. I don't actually know where it comes from, but it's truly one of these like underspoken about, understated issues that our societies deal with. I think even more readily than we may have in the past. Now, this is just like pure conjecture. I don't know this to be the case, but I would imagine the incidence of SA, SV has increased over time, at least across like maybe the last 30, 40 years. I don't know why I had that feeling. Maybe it's because the conversation around these topics has been getting louder. So by virtue of hearing lots of conversations around that, we, at least in my mind, may over attribute the incidence of these things happening. But I think not speaking about it is far worse, because again, we'd rather confront the issue head on, know its quality, know how much of society it is affecting, to be able to readily address it, teach everybody the right things and wrong things to do, to call things out, to address them as early on as possible, and just help protect people, help people heal. Wow. I gotta think more about this one, guys. I hope you did enjoy the reaction, though. If you did, hit that subscribe button. Have a great rest of your day. Take care, and peace.